Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with a very quick update for you for Bitcoin and XRP. I'll do my updates Monday to Friday and Jack will do his updates Tuesday to Saturday for Ethereum and Solana. Thank you so much to everyone who answered my question on Twitter today. Do you call it X? I don't know. I'm just going to call it Twitter. I asked if you had any questions for me that I could cover to make my video a bit less boring, but more interesting. I'll answer those in tomorrow's video because I went out and now I'm home and I've run out of time. So let's make this a quick one because we have some developments. It's starting to move higher, yay. Within this downward swing, I was expecting support 58,200 to 60,700, which is pretty much exactly what happened. Bit of a consolidation and now starting to move higher. I expect Bitcoin still within this rectangle, swinging from resistance to support, resistance, double test, support. I expect we're now going to see an upward swing. Let's see what happens when it gets to resistance, which look out for it, 71,500 to 73,100. Don't expect this upward swing necessarily to move in a straight line. This downward swing kind of did move in a straight line. That's not that common for moves within consolidations. It tends to be choppy and overlapping like this downward move or this upward move here, quite choppy and overlapping. So look for most likely a choppy overlapping move up toward resistance at 71,500 to 73,100. Volume pushed price lower and had a spike at the last low. That's often associated with a low sustained at least for the short term. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes volume declines at a low, but here an increase and increase and increase and increase. Yep, that's pretty common. For the short term now, for the last two sessions, we're seeing price move higher with some increase in volume. So that's good to see. I will expect it is very likely we are on an upward swing, at least to resistance. And let's see if it can break out when it gets there. Actually really good to see a new little range forming with on-balance volume. There was a bearish signal a while ago and then price continued down to support and on-balance volume continued lower. I think now that this previous strong bearish signal doesn't mean we're going to get a downward breakout out of the rectangle. I think the result, the bearish result of that bearish signal is now complete, and now we're seeing on-balance volume form a new range and we'll be looking for a new signal. The range is weak, it's new, it's not long held. The signal, a break above resistance or support, would be a weak signal, but we've got a new range, we'll look for a new signal and we might get one tomorrow. If it does break above the yellow resistance line, that'll be a very weak bullish signal. ADX is pretty much flat. It's no longer indicating a downward trend, so the market's still consolidating. RSI reached oversold at the last low. If that consolidation is a consolidation within an ongoing larger bull market, then it should be complete at that low, because when RSI reaches oversold within bull market consolidations or pullbacks, that does tend to be the end of them. It can reach more deeply oversold and then exhibit bullish divergence when there's a bear market though. But I don't think the sideways movement is a bear market. It lacks support, or it lacks downward push from volume, and it lacks an increase in range when price moves lower. Money flow is neutral. If there's a continuation of an upward trend, there's a really long way to go before it gets extreme now. This consolidation has very nicely relieved short-term extreme conditions. It's actually really good to see in a larger, healthy bull market. I know it's really frustrating and it saps our patience. It's certainly sapped mine in the last couple of months or so, but it is actually a really good thing for a larger, healthy bull market. With a model of stochastics plus support and resistance for a trendless market, stochastics reached well oversold, price reached support, strongly bounced up. Stochastics now has a positive slope, it's moving higher and price is moving higher. Let's expect this upward swing to continue until price reaches resistance and stochastics reaches overbought simultaneously. When that happens, if ADX tells us there's no trend, then we may expect the upward swing to end. If ADX tells us there is a trend, and particularly if there is going to be some increase in volume and or range as a measure of volatility, if we see that in this upward swing, I'll be looking for an upward breakout finally. I expect XRP's probably found a low as well. I expect this zigzag for minute wave 2 is complete, and within minor wave 1 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 needs to complete. 3 may only subdivide as an impulse. I expect it's got 1, 2, 1, 2. We need to see the middle of a third wave, and then 4, 3, 4, 5 to complete minute wave 3. If minute 2 were to continue lower, it may not move beyond the start of 1 below 0.4309. Very quickly, technicals for XRP, it's still finding support at 46. A hammer candlestick pattern here. Dragonfly doji moving very, very slowly, slightly higher. Not a lot of strength, but it does look like support at 46 cents is likely to hold. A little bit of an increase in volume day on day for the last 2 sessions for XRP, so there's a little bit of support for bullish movement here. A new range for on-balance volume for this one as well. We'll wait for a signal. We might get one tomorrow. ADX tells us there's still a downward trend for XRP though. It's a lagging indicator here based on a 14-day average. So if there's been a trend change and a lower's in place for the short term, ADX isn't going to tell us yet. With a downward trend, there's still a ways for RSI to get oversold, so we could see more downward movement. There's a ways before money flow reaches oversold as well. That's it from me today with a very quick update for you. I hope you all had a very lovely weekend, and I'll give you a little bit more depth tomorrow and answer your questions from Twitter. Thank you so much for participating in that and giving me some ideas.